Hi everyone, hello. Uh, Today we're here to learn how to remove a background from any photo or from any image in Photoshop. There are lots of ways we could do this, but in Photoshop there is not just a single way to do whatever it is you want to do. So there are numerous ways we can use in removing a background from a photo. A very smooth way, for me, the best way, and the perfect way to actually do this. Okay, so first we're gonna start opening up Photoshop, and then this is my Photoshop. Now I'm gonna just go straight to open and open up the picture we're gonna be using for this tutorial. So remove PG, yeah. Okay, so this is the image that we'll be using, and we'll be cropping out this from this background. So I want you to watch along as we do this, and if you're a pro, there are some things I'll be sharing here that you might not really that you might know before, but for the beginners I'm sure you will find them very helpful. So pay attention to the screen, because I'm gonna have my keys. Every keys I press, I have them shown on the screen. So when I press any key, I'll just try to explain what the key does, so you could also apply it whenever you're doing your designs. Okay, let's jump right in. We could use the tool that is called polygonal lasso. You could use this little tool called the background eraser tool, but as good as all those tools are, they are not as perfect enough. One, you need to put together 2 or 3 different ways of cutting this stuff out. So if I'm gonna cut this, I won't just depend on just a single tool. I'm gonna use like 2 tools or 3 tools just to get the perfect result. So that is just what I'm gonna be showing us today. And contrary to when you cut an image or when you crop or delete backgrounds with this particular tool, polygonal lasso, you don't get this. You struggle when, let's say, you want to cut out this part here, this part right here, these curved edges. To achieve that with polygonal lasso is always very difficult. So what I do, instead of using this tool, is to use a pen tool, and this pen tool will make me cut any image with the perfect curves, with the right edges, and get the image out just as I want it. So just pay attention as we go. So if you're a beginner, when you go to the pen tool right here on your Photoshop layout, when you click on it, by default you should have parts selected right here. So what I want you to do is just click this little arrow, just click to see the 3 options that are there. So I want you to select part. If part is currently selected, just continue with it, but if shape was selected just like mine, I would like you to select path. So I'm just gonna click that right now. And then the next thing is, for me, for best results, I recommend zooming in into the picture that you are using. When you zoom in to it, you could be sure of what it is that you're doing. So let's start from here. This is practically the most complex part, but let's just start from there. So just go ahead and click on my pencil again. Be sure part is selected here, because we're gonna be using parts, we're not using the shape. So let's just jump right in and just start clicking. Pay attention for you to really see why this pencil is better than the polygonal lasso or the background eraser. The problem with background eraser is it's not good when you have a colorful background, a clustered background. The problem with polygonal lasso is you can't get those curves or those curvy edges that I'd have loved to get, but pencil beats all of that. So that is what we are gonna be doing today. So selecting the pencil, I'll just start clicking right away. So click, click, sorry, click. Can you see that? Can you see that? I could achieve the perfect curves with a pencil. So when with a pencil, I believe if you're a pro you already know this, but if you're a beginner, I think this would really benefit you. With a pencil, when you use the pencil, there are different key combinations you could use to tweak whatever path you just created or whatever anchor points you just created. For example, with this anchor point, I could, for me to make this line here a little more curvy, I would hold on Control on Windows and Command if you're on Mac, and then I would hold and bend any way I wish to bend it. You get? So I could, extend, I could reduce, I could, however. But for you to, undo any of these nodes, first you need to hold on Control on Windows or Command on the Mac, and then just drag around and drag around. So if I did a mistake and I clicked here originally, I could just hold on to my Control and drag this node down back to where it's supposed to be, and then drag this also the way it's supposed to be. So, and then with this same node, if with the way I'm tweaking and with the way I'm editing for my own best use, if I hold on to the Control and I do this and do that, the two nodes are being affected at once. But if I want to let's say I just want to change the dimension, the angle of a single node without affecting the other, I'll just hold on to Alt. So when I hold on to Alt, I just hold this and drag. Yeah, so it gives me the flexibility of changing the angle of just a single node. Okay, so let's just move on with the cutting, and see here. So just gonna do some like a rough job because I want to keep this tutorial as short as possible. I'm not here to take all your time, so just bear with me as I just basically cut and trim and trim. I don't know if you can see this. The possibilities are endless when it comes to cutting with a pencil. You get? So if you look at this, the way I'm achieving these curves is actually very wonderful. It's something we haven't seen before in let me say all through our cropping career in Photoshop, if I may say that. But this gives me that flexibility to actually do all of this, to get the curves right, to get the angles right. Okay, I'm gonna show you something right here, right now. You see, I was showing you something about Alt the other time, and when you look at it, you would realize, okay, when I curve it here and then say curve it here, I could just hold on to Alt. This is making this come this way. I could take it back in or bring it back out to follow the new turn I'm about to make. Then just continue. Just take this inside. So you can see it's all very cool. It's all very cool. Very, very cool. It's a cool tool to actually crop whatever it is you want to crop. You know, I'm rushing right now, so I can't, I can't really be as accurate as I would have been if I was doing this for clients. So perhaps you have 1 or 2 jobs to do for your clients, and you know, this is actually more faster. Sorry about that. This is actually more faster for you to, trim out images. It's faster and it's better. That's just the good thing about using the pen tool. But it's not totally about just using the pen tool. It's not totally about just using the pen tool. It's really about what you do when you're through using the pen tool. So just stick around while I quickly cut this image and then show you the next thing to do, because it's not just about it's not just about using the pen tool, it's about using it and knowing what next to do. So just stick around while I quickly trim out the edges of this image. Like I said, pardon me for my not so good trimming. I'm just trying to rush this up to keep this under 10 minutes. So like I said, when you're cropping out a picture, or when you're cropping out an image from any file, make sure you're zoomed in correctly, because when you zoomed in, it gives you that flexibility of going as close to the image and as cutting out something that would really look sharp when you are through. And one thing you should avoid is having this close to the edge, because when you have this like this, it means when you eventually crop out the image, what you'd have are white edges around it, so we want to avoid that. So you have to keep it inside. So you need to be wary of that, and let's continue trimming, 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 and I'm gonna show you some other stuff. More cool stuff. See what I was saying about the alt the other time? Actually, when I clicked, this is actually going this way and this going this way. So the next point I need to create is right below this point I created. So if I click on this point, see, it's disrupted the image. So that is why it's Ctrl Z, and that is why I need to use the alt, hold this angle, and drag to follow the next line I want it to follow. So right now, if I click, see, it blends to the image. So that is, let's continue trimming, I'll start away with a conversation with you guys. So I'm just gonna keep trimming this till I just really hope we'll be able to keep the time with this. I'm trying to be as fast as I can. You have to, just what I said, you have to make sure your lines are inside of the image that are cropped, but don't make it too close in, so you don't want to make the image or the arm thinner than the way it actually looks in the real photo. So just have to be wary of that. And I don't know if you think there's a best way that you could actually crop an image. I mean, if you think there's a better way than this, because I don't think there's a better way out there. I've been cropping images since like forever, and when I got to know about this tool, I just felt, wow, this is it, because the possibilities with this tool, possibilities are endless. I gotta tell you, having that flexibility of conforming it to any curve, conforming it to any straight line, and all of that. It really does it all for me. Does it all for me, does it all for me. And I could actually do whatever I want to do. Like, it's so cool. See what I just did right here. So just quickly complete this turn. And another cool thing about it is, I just completed it, and it shows this circle, this place where it shows minus, this where it's showing minus, this where it's showing plus. When it shows the circle, it means you're about to complete that cropping, that you're about to click on the spot right where you started. So for beginners, I'm sure that will be helpful. But if you're a pro, I'm sure you wouldn't be needing that because you already know. So just click there, and the nodes disappear. It shows I have completed that part selection. So I'm just gonna zoom out of the image, and when you look at this, there is a space right here, and I think little spaces in here, and that is another cool functionality of this tool. With this currently selected, I would go back to my pencil, zoom in on here with all of this selected, then I'll just continue, start another one. Just click, and just trim and trim. You wouldn't get this with your polygonal lasso. You wouldn't get this, because with a polygonal lasso you could just do one at a time. But this makes my job faster, because I could select all the places I want to crop, no matter how many spaces are in the image. I could select everything and just get it all at once. This is currently selected, this is still selected also, so I could just come here and do the same thing. Just trying to get him out. See there. I'm trying to rush for time, so please pardon me. And then this, and then this. So I hope you're really enjoying this tutorial, and I hope I'm not boring you. Just please bear with me. I'm sure when we'll get along, and when we get used to each other, you find me more interesting than the way you currently do. I'm very sure of that. So we've got all of that selected, so I'm just gonna zoom out. Z or Z is the zoom tool. When you use Z, it changes to zoom tool, and when you're gonna zoom in, you just left click. But to zoom out, you hold Alt and then zoom out. That's for the beginners. Tip for the beginners: like I told you at the beginning of this tutorial, you need to put your ears on ground and be very watchful, pay attention, because all of these things you're gonna be learning. And a recap of all what we learned during the use of the pencil, you could remember I said when you start a node, I'm just gonna show you right now. When you start a node and then you click here to change this, you could hold shift and then change or bend it however you want to bend it, or use your alt to change the angle of just one of the nodes. So it is a very cool tool, but you have to bear in mind you continually need to use your alt and your control or command and max. So you could just hold with the control. You could change the position of any node while holding the control. And if you want to change the position of any of the angular nodes, you could just hold Alt and change the direction depending on what you want to achieve. So I'm just gonna go back history, go back, 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 and then close path. Okay, so we're back where we were cropping the image. So right now I'm just with the pen tool selected and all of my little spots where I'd like to crop out has been selected. What I'll just go ahead and do is I'm gonna say right click. So when you right click, you come, there are lots of options where you come to make selection. So when you say make selection, you don't need to change anything, just say okay. It has to be feather radius, has to be 0, and say alias and new selection. So you just say okay. So by now you should see this kind of little lines hovering all around the picture. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is hit Ctrl J. What I just did, let me go back so you could catch that. Ctrl Z. Look, I want you to pay attention to these layers while I use Ctrl J. You see a new layer has been added. One thing with Ctrl J is like duplicate. It's a shortcut for duplicate. For the beginners though, I'm sure the pros among the stars already know that. So Ctrl J duplicates any layer you're currently on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hide this, and voila! Look how gorgeous she is. Is she gorgeous? Look at that. Look at that. The edges. Like I said, I was in a rush for time. But if I did this with, if I had cropped out this with a little more precision and a little more care, I think what we'll be having will be the almost perfect image. But this is just basically what the tool can do using the pen tool to crop out your images. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and with the way it is, it currently has no background, so you could just put this image on any background that you please. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial, and if you think there are better ways, shoot me a comment in the comment section down below. And if not, if you think this tutorial is cool, I'd like you to drop your comments and also share it with your friends. Share it with a friend who this might be helpful to. You don't know the job that you'll be saving. You don't know someone's time that you might be saving. So I'd really like you to do so, and I would catch you around. Bye bye.